We Watch Movie. I'm Stan.
I'm Derek.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is, we've gone into the Bearded Ones Luminaires.
We've got headlights. But yeah, we're happy about it because it's Rob Zombie Halloween coming at your fucking face. Supersonic speed.
Jay's been listening to Eminem.
I love it.
Don't worry, it's gonna be okay.
It's not. I'm gonna fucking dye my hair.
He can only do it for so long.
Stan?
Because it makes him angry. That's actually true.
It does. I can't listen to it.
I can do it all day long, but you can only take an increment.
Just a little bit.
It hurts him.
Much like my sex life.
Rob Zombie's best film by far ever of all time.
And you know what? I know somebody's gonna come up in the comments and be like, what about Devil's Rejects? What about House of a Thousand Corpses? What about Your Mom's Herpes? I don't care. Because I don't care. This is the best Rob Zombie put together film. Period.
Eventually, what we want to do, well, I haven't told you this, so really what I want to do, I'm going to force it upon you.
Don't you do it.
You've been there before, eh?
Multiple times.
But eventually, what I'd like to do is create a very long, in-depth video about why we fucking hate most of Rob Zombie's movies, because there's a lot to talk about there.
So I would literally have to listen to every album of Eminem just to really
that's a good day to listen to Eminem. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is his best film. You know, he does that terrible, terrible thing in our eyes in this film, which is he humanizes Michael Myers. He's the shape, he's the darkness, he's the force that's unstoppable, he's fate. He should never be explained, and if you are going to explain him, I'd rather him be explained with fucking runes and Paul Rudd than I would have him explained by, I just grew up in a trailer park, my parents were mean to me, so I fucking slashed titties.
Well, shit, man. Well, if you went through all that, Alice Cooper, fuck it. Like, that's, yeah, like, you know, we've talked about this several times, and you guys know that. Like, it was, I guess, a different and original idea to kind of give him a backstory as far as something to relate to, but that's the point. You don't want to really relate to him in that way. Michael Myers has always been a mystery, and understanding why he does what he does is the whole point. That's literally the Loomis's, like, angle in the films as well. But just why does this kid that was raised correctly or seemingly correctly and grew at a normal, just fucking snaps for no reason? Not because, you know, every breakfast morning, good old mom and dad, I'll get over here and skull fuck the shit out you. Like, of course. Michael! His mother and him have a great relationship, I suppose. He kills
stripper.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with if you gotta do a little
Lets
something.
Your boyfriend beat his
I got no problem if you gotta
sexually touch her daughter.
She was in college, yeah, well, that part, yeah, but you know, Michael Myers and his mother have a good relationship. The stepfather's an asshole, like the worst kind of.
William Forsythe's great in that role.
He's great though, but he looks like a character from Live PD. Like he just looks like what you mean I ain't gonna eat my goddamn chicken and talk to you? You can't rest me.
Slap my snorkel all over them flapjack titties.
He's like, that damn girl's got a good old pooper on her. Like, woo! God. And then you have his sister, who's also very slutty and redneck as well. Anyway, it's obvious why Michael. I kind of got turned on a little bit. I'm not gonna lie when she was
talking about jerking off a rat, man.
She was doing it to a milk bottle, and that's all I saw. But you know, the thing is though, like, obviously Michael is going to be fucked up. Anybody would be fucked up growing up in an environment like that. And there was warning signs. He kills his fucking gerbil at the very beginning of the movie. Wow, I didn't see that coming. That he was going to be a mass murderer.
I found evil from the lake of crystals. Do you know his name, Michael? You never can tell. I'm glad that you're about safety.
Did you really skin all them worthless animals, boy? Like the whole fucking dinner table.
Take that damn thing off.
It's hilarious. Like it's terrible and it's off-putting and it's disgusting, but it's funny as fuck.
When that baby starts going, like, that's all that little fucker does is crying shit.
So that scene sets the stage for everything. His mom's a stripper. He goes to school. He gets picked on. You do get introduced to Dr. Loomis when he gets a fight with these two fucking disgusting bullies.
Malcolm McPanties.
Those bully kids are the fucking worst, man. I like the one scene though where he snags the kid's hat, he spits in it, and throws it back.
You want it, huh? You want
it? Perfectly cast. Like Rob Zombie did an amazing job casting this film, top to bottom, with the exception of him shoehorning Sherry Moon Zombie and everything. This one didn't hurt as bad as the others, but yeah, he goes to school and you do get introduced to Dr. Loomis for the first time, who's got that long 70s hippies hair. And if you guys ever get a chance to watch the outtakes from this, it's funny.
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Shit.
I would have taken that Loomis.
He's like, this bird's been raped.
But this is before the bastardization of Dr. Loomis, by far. I mean, the Malcolm McDowell, it really put it right up in the old tailpipe.
But in this, Malcolm McDowell did a great Loomis.
He didn't do a bad job. It was a different version of Donald Pleasence, and Donald Pleasence will always be the OG Loomis forever, and he's great, but you know, Malcolm McDowell, I think, had said in interviews before he didn't watch Donald Pleasance's performance. He just wanted something natural and looking at the script and something coming from his own self, which I respect, and that's cool.
He still managed, but even not doing that, he managed to capture his essence, which is pretty neat.
Like, I don't think I never took away from this Dr. Loomis. Like, it was a little bit more, I don't know, edgier than what Donald Pleasance was, a little bit more cold in some way. But there was an empathetic nature to him. I mean, you could see that he did care about Michael as far as Michael, after the brutal killings happen, and Michael comes into his care, he is trying. So in that respect, it does work as far as in Malcolm McDowell's favor as far as his performance.
And then you see Michael get his first kill. The first time the music comes on is when he beats the fuck out of that bully.
Which I didn't like that music part. Like when he was running down, he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, in this one particular film, we said this before, and I think most people would agree, he had to live and breathe inside of a constraint. Like they told him, you have to stay within these limits, these borders, to tell your story. You can do whatever you want in between, ping pong off butt cheeks or whatever, but you got to stay here. Yeah. So he did that, and does an effective job in some ways. The best thing he does in this film, I think, overall, is bring like such a brutal nature to Michael. And Tyler Mane as Michael Myers is fucking awesome. Like, he is badass. Like, he's obviously different than what we're used to. We're used to more of a smaller Michael, more of a smoother liquid Michael. Don't go Jason Waterfalls TLC. But did we get more of like the fucking Kane Hodder, or more of like I don't know, the Undertaker returning to WWE, badass steroid and fuck. Like, and Michael looks good. Like, Tyler Mane does a phenomenal job with the role. I mean, as a big dude, and you know, being like smooth about how he moves and walks and stuff like that, it's hard to do, I would imagine, but he pulls it off, and it works really well. And so if anything else, what you take away is that this shit is like top notch, the most brutal Michael has ever been. Yeah, it looks good. And the death scenes are fucking well done as well.
Did a good job with the mask. The mask looks good. Michael's fucking huge, and he's angry, and he's visceral, and he's pissed off, and Tyler Mane just does an amazing job. To have that Michael is really fun, and I enjoy it, and I'm glad that he exists, and I like Michael as a grown-up in this movie. Again, would I want him to be that way in all the movies? A giant fucking physical force? No. But, and tell me this, guys, if you're a huge Michael fan, like if Michael's your favorite of the slashers like he is mine, you kind of get a little butthurt when someone says who would win in a fist fight between Michael and Jason. You know at your heart of hearts that Jason is way more just like crazy strength and like unstoppable. Like one-on-one Jason would win. Michael's about stalking. It's about Michael versus
Jason's
humans.
doing it for his mother, okay? He'll fuck you up.
That makes Michael more interesting. It's him against humans. Now when you put Michael against Jason, like one-on-one, he really doesn't have a chance. But Tyler Mane, Rob Zombie's Michael could actually put up a fucking fight. And I like that it exists.
I like the conversation that says who would win, Tyler Mane, Michael Myers versus the remake Jason, because the remake Jason is more along the lines of
Tyler Mane.
I think Tyler Mane might fuck him up.
Danielle Harris, smart as
amazing
fuck to bring her back as Annie. I like this Annie way better than the other Annie. She did a fantastic job. She's strong. She's a great character.
More relatable.
Scout Taylor Compton as Lori is fucking a stroke of genius. Like, she is so good. She's so likable. It was an amazing job that they did with the casting of her and the other people in this movie. Top to bottom, man, there's not a casting situation I don't think in this movie I like. Her parents were great. Their death scene was haunting. Like, that made me feel like shit inside. Like, the way that they died. With Dee Wallace. Just, they brought the fucking, I'm working on a Super Sancho Supreme. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
Grizzly Adams.
That guy, the casting dude, he crushed the casting in this. Like, whoever did the casting in this was amazing.
The presentation that Rob Zombie gave to us with this movie, overall, it's done really, really well. I mean, you take 30 minutes out of this film and it just becomes like a fucking insta classic. I mean, 30 minutes, I don't need the backstory. I don't need Loomis really. I don't need the psychiatric treatment knowing that this little fucking Play-Doh faced boy is fucked up. I just want to fucking squish it. Like when he's like talking to his mom, he's like, "Mommy, how's everybody at home?" I'm like, "You killed him." I just don't like his face, dude. I'm sorry. Great casting as well. Fucking Sheriff Brackett, dude.
Yeah, that's
the best.
I was
bracket.
holding it in my pockets and waiting to bring it up.
I was in your pocket like thief at night, and I pulled it from and exposed.
One of Brad Dourif's best roles.
Brad Dourif, man, you brought fucking Chucky voice.
He's one of the few characters that maintains greatness in H2 too.
Yeah, because the thing about what Brad Dourif does is Brad Dourif is not only able to bring the badassery that you need for that role and be able to play off Malcolm McDowell, but also he's able to bring the human side to the entire story as well, the heart of the movie.
And is it safe to say, and I'm just going to say this, I know this is probably blaspheme, but
you heathen,
I prefer Brad Dourif Sheriff's Bracket to the original.
I think that's what I say. He's the best bracket that's ever lived. And he's not like, man, fuck it, I want to put my dick in your mouth kind of like redneck dude. He's just a guy that's a sheriff of this small town with a daughter, and he's trying to do his best. And he doesn't have a lot of lines or a lot of screen time, and that's a shame because he should have had more. Like, he should have actually had a lot more. But nonetheless, overall, heart of the film is Brad Dourif.
Yeah, and you know what? The whole movie's like the whole middle section of the movie is really good. Like, John Carpenter told Rob Zombie, take this movie and make it your own, and he did. And as you said, when Rob Zombie's working in a construct, he can do great things. There's things that we really love about what Rob Zombie does as a filmmaker. I think the reason we ride him so much is because he's so fucking talented at so many things, and he just wastes it trying to ooh people out.
Like, you know, what's the guy? What's the director of Human Centipede? Tom Six or
yeah.
Yeah, see, that guy got pissed off that everybody hated his movies and thought it was gross, so he just went out, he literally made it his mission to make you grossed out. I think that Rob Zombie, he takes criticism in that way. Like, he doesn't say anything on air or like in interviews about like, fuck you or whatever. He just takes it out onto the next film. He's like, oh, okay, well, if I'm just that guy, I'll just be that guy.
Yeah, and I think Rob Zombie's got a lot of issues with trying to make everybody in his own image, which is what he does with Michael in H2. But no, long story short, man, like the movies, I hate the beginning, and there's parts about the end I hate. When you get to the end of the movie and you've got the full-on chase scene, and I'm pretty sure that they went back and they reshot some of this shit, you get into a really long chase scene. When you finally get to the quintessential point of the movie, and I love the fact that I respect Zombie for the fact, because I've seen people do this, and I really don't understand it. Like, I know everybody loves the original Halloween movie, but constantly recreating the original, like, make some new stuff, make some new story, and like, just all of it. When people constantly recreate and they want to go back to the original, I get it and it's cool and I love that movie too. But I respect what Rob Zombie did at certain points of this because he hit the beats, but he made it his own. And I really enjoyed that he didn't try to direct copy Carpenter's moments when he got into the actual movie of Halloween, because as we know, it's also a prequel plus a remake. But when you get to the remake stuff, he did a great job with making it his own, giving it the certain flair. Now at the end, you get into a chase scene with Laurie and Michael when he drags her, he shows her a picture. You got all that stuff.
I didn't like that part at all.
It went on too long. The chase scene goes on too long, and Platinum Dunes did this a lot with their remakes back then. It felt a lot like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, where it was a constant chase through this house, and the movie becomes a little bit boring for a second, but the ending is fucking machismo.
Oh, I love that Italian spice. He shows her the picture, and that's the whole point. He kidnaps her, and he's look at this, look at my hair. It used to be beautiful.
My favorite baseball card.
Oh, where is it? I was like, God damn, stop. Don't do it anymore. But of course, you know, we were already on this train wreck at that point as far as like the humanization of Michael. We might as well go all the way with it. But yeah, now the very end of this, when Loomis shoots his ass multiple times in the fucking like dirty ass old pool that the neighbors should clean, that, you know, and he falls down, and you're like, oh, okay, it's over, because, you know, they had never made any kind of point to seem like Michael's supernatural, so we didn't know. Laurie gets up, goes with Dr. Loomis, then Michael pops back up like, bitch, where's my money? And reaches through there and pulls her out. And that's when you're like, damn, he took like 3 fucking slugs from 357 Magnum and still walking around.
Yeah.
He fucking listens to Eminem all day. And then he crushes, you know, I do like that scene a little bit when Loomis is like, it was my fault, it was taken out on me, and he grabs Loomis. if this is going to be the only movie that Rob Zombie did, like, I would be down with it. I don't want Dr. Loomis to die, but dying in that way, I guess, like confronting the monster, I'd be down with that. But when they do get to a point where he like fucking, he goddamn Lawrence Taylor's her off that fucking roof. He's like, boom, and he's like going for the sack. It's got to be the shoes, and throws her down and like gets in the grass and.
Larry Tate, office linebacker.
Yeah, and then she's got the gun pointing it at his face. She's all fucked up, and he grabs her, and then you hear a gunshot and her face covered in blood.
I fucking love that.
It was cool because you didn't see. I don't like the fact that Michael could have been dead, because if she shot him right in the fucking face, I mean, I don't know, but it was a splatter of blood, so you don't really know. But they kept it on her face, and it was very Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I suppose. Yeah. Like when she's all covered in blood and she starts crying, laughing, screaming at the same time. I gotta be. I mean, if and then it cuts to like the fucking credits, and then the music starts rolling, the Halloween theme,
and then they show the old shots.
Yeah, I really, it felt like you were questioning your sexuality at that point. Like, I don't know.
Something you're used to doing, but I will say this, like that, dude.
Only with your dad.
Dude, that's what I was gonna get to with the ending. I love the ending. I love that moment of just sheer intensity. When I was in a band, someone did a review of one of our songs. And they were like, it starts out so heavy and so crazy that it has no place to go. Like, I thought that he crushed the ending because it got to this crescendo of her holding the gun to his face. She pulls the trigger. There's blood all over. The camera's moving a little bit. She's screaming. I thought that was such a crescendo.
It's not like you're talking about the new Ninja Turtle. Crescendo. It kind of threw me for a loop the first time. When he gets shot, he goes, oh! But it was bad. That cop shoots him in the hallway and he gets shots. He's like, oh! And he's like, whoop! Boom! Like, he fucking whoops his ass. I didn't like that Michael made a noise, but whatever. It'd been funny though if Michael had been laying there and like holding her hands like, where's the trigger? I gotta get that safety. But yeah, so you never know. Like, they left it to the imagination the way that it ended. It was very disturbing, I suppose, is the word some people would use. Covered in blood, just screaming. Just this girl had gone, like a 17-year-old girl has gone through the worst fucking possible imagination or reality you could ever wish on anybody else. And it pulls back, directed by Rob Zombie, and then the music is coming on, really filling in that void. And you're like, damn, I just watched some fucking homicides happen.
That's crazy, man.
And I feel good about it. Let's go to fucking Applebee's. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I loved it a lot. I think it's a cool movie. I think it's definitely something that you could easily get into and watch as a fan of the Halloween series. Even though it's going to be a lot different than the original one, it's still fun. It's still got the elements of Michael that make Michael so special and cool. And it's got like just enough rock and roll edge to it to be different. And that's okay. The rest of it's not, like, the first 30 minutes you might be like, I'm kind of put off by this shit. This is kind of like, I don't like that fucking greasy shit. But get through the grease, bite in through it, and then you're going to get the steak.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful.
I give it an 8.0 out of 10, man. It's one of my favorite entries in the franchise somehow. I can't tell you how much I hate the fact that they gave Michael a backstory, but he piggybacked off of that with one of the coolest renditions of Michael I've ever seen, and amazing casting. Rob Zombie's best movie by far. So if you guys say that we give Rob Zombie nothing but hate,
we do,
here
but
now.
But we do like this movie a lot.
Comment down below with your all thoughts. We love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. It gets some goddamn wham up in you. I said goddamn. I needed it twice.
Wow. Bitch, if you don't think I'm keeping a record of your bullshit, a mentalist, fuck you.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie.